Right, welcome back to the Rookie Rumble race. Here we are, starting it here at Lanes Raceway. 4 red lights, going to drop out to green. I do have the results for the LMP Thunder Series race. Give me 1 second, I'll go over there and grab the card. I'll be right back. So out of the 7 racers we had, Randy Kirtley, Paul Woosley, a neck-and-neck battle that summed up there towards the last portion of the race. Of course, Randy Kirtley in the last heat scoring 90 laps, Paul Woosley 87, Gabriel Kirtley scoring 78, Jackson scoring 73, Tom Payton bowing out with a 0, Glenn Burden with 77, for a total of Randy Kirtley 689, Paul Woosley 688, Gabriel Kirtley 659, Glenn Burden 652, 559 or 642 of Jay Latham, 559 of Jackson Darty, and 362 of Tom Payton. So that's everybody, folks. I hope you wrote that down. We will get that updated here at Lanes Raceway tonight, being as all the confusion has taken place. A little bit of an incident between Carson and Dalton there. Of course, earlier today, I guess you guys noticed that I put the Rookie Rumble up when it should have been Little Rumble, but nonetheless, you guys can tell the difference by Jay Latham, essentially, and Marley. Marley, of course, not in the series. Jay Latham is in the series, Marley not. But that's just a way for you guys to tell that this is actually the Rookie Rumble, not to mention that it is nighttime, which our Rookie Rumble runs towards the night. So Weston Durham out in the lead right now with 31 laps. Marley in second place with 32. Jay Latham with 32. Jackson with 32. Carson with 30. And Dalton with 29. Following our race leader right now in blue, we can see him get a little bit of a love touch there going towards the outside lane of Dead Man's Corner. Dropping down now, Marley, our current leader there on yellow. As we follow her, she's there in the light blue car, the one that gave the love touch to West in there and kicked him to the outside. I'll tell you right now, Marley's car is flat motivating, folks. And she goes to make another dive bomb down here on yellow. She's keeping it within a car length or so, anxiously waiting as she comes popping off there. It was just a little too much. And she's going to hang on to the lead after the first heat. Marley out in the lead with 53 total laps. So we take a look here at the track mate. 53 laps for Marley, 53 laps for Weston, 52 laps for Jay Latham, 51 laps for Jackson, and Carson 45, Dalton 44. Going to leave you with the current standings as of July the 23rd and be right back with you. All right, folks. Sorry about that. I had to check a customer out. Uh, Man, what an eventful past few minutes here at Lanes Raceway between the craziness going on in the LMP Thunder Series and just the overwhelming aspect of me having to do my job. Horrible past few minutes. I like a little more laid back, calm feel. What do you think, Tom? Tom over there, man, I know he was looking for some laid back, calm feel. Of course, I guess he got a few laid back, calm feels there towards the end. I mean, that other car you put in, not up to snuff compared to that one you put in at the very beginning. That one you put up at the beginning was a front runner for sure. That second car, not so much. But you do know, Tom, that's racing. It stinks sometimes when the old car slides off and gets on another lane or whatever it may be. But curious though, Tom, since I got you here, how come you didn't pop back in there in the last heat and run some laps?
I tried to put that car back on Mazzetti, but something was wrong. It was sliding every which way and could not grab any traction whatsoever. So instead of fighting it, I just pulled it.
So you think it wouldn't even have mattered anyway? You wouldn't have been able to drop a race?
Nowhere near. My highest race was 609. That'd be the one I could drop.
Oh, yeah.
300.
Yeah. What did it say you was?
362 on that.
362. Yeah. There wasn't no way you were going to get 300 laps. Well, anyways, Tom, I hate it, man. But a lot of people having some bad luck tonight. You were one of them, but you had the worst luck because right there at the first 3 or 4 heats or whatever it was, you and Paul were neck and neck, beating and banging on each other. And Randy Kirtley, of course, come back and won the thing, but it was just by the skin of his teeth. That last heat really costed Paul as he came out a couple times. And, that's the name of the game. And I did see, Jackson did a really good job tonight in the LMP Thunder Series. There towards the end, though, his car didn't want to stay in the high banks, I noticed. Him or Glenn's. And that costed Glenn a little bit. But I think Glenn still did a lot better than he usually does, being with that new body and the way he's got everything set up. But pretty eventful little LMP Thunder race. A lot of beating and banging. Jay Latham putting people to the wall. Pretty interesting to see. I'm just excited for next week, I guess. I guess we're going to have to hold out at least till Thursday. But you and I both know Sunday races are the gauntlet for sure. So I'm definitely excited for Sunday. At the end of this heat, though, we still see Weston out there in the lead. We see Jay Latham making big progress as he moves up to second place with 106. Action Jackson there in midfield running 101, tied up with Marley with 101. Carson Ross 91 and Dalton Darty with 89. Going to leave you guys here with the current pinball stores. Don't forget, we only got a day left, folks. Get in here and get your pinball going. 1 day left to get those high scores. Somebody's going to have to come up in here and give Big Daddy 3 some competition. This man here is holding it down, folks, to the point I think my mom actually had made a comment, said, let some other people get on board. But, Glenn loves the pinball. Me and him sat here last night and watched the pinball competition. Would be watching it right now if it didn't mess with the live stream. But nonetheless, be back here in about 1:45 seconds. See you then. Here we go, folks. 4 red lights going to drop out to a green. We're going green racing. Rookie Rumble racing here, folks. Jay Latham on a tear here. He's on purple lane. He's going to be down low. He's trying to challenge Weston, our current leader. Weston with a beautiful coast in that Cowboys starred-up truck. Carson acting like a hyena out there in the middle lane. Jackson get a breakout line there down on black lane. Weston still holding it down the best that he can. One minute and 48 seconds left to go, and we see Weston take everybody out in the field except for one. And that one being Jay Latham. Jay Latham was able to catch a couple laps. Yeah, folks, anytime you're racing and you're the only guy racing, definitely don't let off. Hammer home. Unless the track marshal hits that button, it's green racing. Jay Latham definitely made him a couple laps there as he's now out in the lead of Weston. He's driving Weston pretty deep there. Weston not lifting whatsoever. Weston got a pretty good freed up little mobile there down on black as he's running 122 to Jay Latham's 121. But Jay Latham able to gain a couple laps there during the wreck debacle that just took place. It was almost a full J, actually. Jay Latham actually getting into contact with, I believe, Carson's car. No, it was Marley's car up on white. Marley running a good race here tonight. 117, just a couple laps down from Jackson, our current leader in the series. Both of them running up high. So they're, of course, going to get a little bit better track lap times as they move down lower. Minute and 6 seconds left to go in this heat. We got a paused scenario here. Things going on. You see in the upper left-hand portion of your screen, Tom Payton and Glenn Burden just getting done from their race. Tom Payton having such horrible luck, busted up a rear axle, and you should see this tire. Actually, you know what? In the meantime, minute and 6 seconds, that's pretty exciting stuff to see. Let me go grab his tire if he still has it, just to show it to you. I forgot, folks, I have a, I don't know, announcing speaker. Oh, so here it is, folks. This is what happened to Tom. Let me see if I could, let me turn some light on so you can see. Hang on. There we go. That right there, folks, that happened to Tom tonight. That's what ruined him from being right up there with Paul and Randy Kirtley. That is the worst I've ever seen a hub get bent. He's going to go out there and take that out to Glenn and show it to him. We'll just leave that light on. It makes it look like I'm not in a dark cave over here. Yeah, that thing is running good, Tom. I couldn't ever imagine why that would be in an axle. But nonetheless, I mean, some of these hubs these guys are using are magnesium. They are very, very susceptible to bending. And in the case of Tom, it was a full speed come apart. You guys remember me say, wow, somebody hit hard. Well, that was Tom, and he ended up being completely moved out of the race over that. 11 laps turned on orange, I believe it was. Horrible turn of events. He, like I said, folks, before that happened, he was running for the lead. Him and Paul Woosley fighting neck and neck. He'll come back strong next week. He might even come in on a Thursday and give her a shot, gain some of those laps. Of course, now you see Glenn Burden taking a look at that, immediately snapping up to look to pass it on to Jay. Just passing that tire around just to show how brutal of a hit that was. We're going to see 4 lights red. They're going to drop out to a green, and we're going racing. Weston, your current leader, down on black lane as he dive bombs down low. Right up above him, Jay Latham on purple as he's trying to make his move the best he can. knowing that if he gets too close to the snake in the grass, it's over. As Jay Latham, Weston pops out of the lane, giving Jay Latham another lap advantage here. Jay Latham moving to the outside, probably dangerous territory to get there with such rookie drivers. But the coast, oh, what a look there. That was crazy. So the coast gave Jay the advantage at the beginning, but then towards the end, the coast kicked in for Weston, and he was able to slide just in front of him, making them dead even on the front stretch. You can see him just right there to the next to where it says rookie on your right side. That's your leader in second position. And both of them tied up pretty close. Now, I don't know what's going on right now, but it seems to me that we got a car off the track. I believe it was possibly Dalton's car. But we'll know more here shortly. I suppose a brush or something possibly, or a bend. But my wife's over there working with Jay to get whatever the problem is resolved. Be right back with you. All right, looks like they got that car put back on. Now my wife picking up another car to look at it there in Dead Man's Corner. But got it rolling. We'll see what happens here. These kids having a great time. We got 4 red lights dropping out to green. Marley better get on the ball there. She gets there and grabs her controller, and we're going green racing. Weston, your current leader by about a track length. As we see Jay Latham there, his car kind of cutting out on power there on purple lane. Something going on. As he's given up about half of a track length now. His car somewhat warming up. It seems to be picking up a little bit of speed here as he's now increased that down to about a quarter of a lap. 9 seconds left to go. Weston, your leader, 161, going to turn 162 for the finish. Jay Latham and Weston, both 162 on their laps. Weston's got him by a half of a lap as we go to take a look here at the track mate. Both of them averaging 54 total laps, 162, 162. Jackson and Marley, 149, 145. And then our third group here, Dalton and Carson, 136, 134. Going to leave you with the current at Lanes Raceway and be right back with you. All right, here we go, folks. 4 red lights going to drop out to green. We're going back green racing. Weston's still your leader out there on yellow lane as we get one on the lid off into the center of the field. Hard hits, folks. I believe that car to be Dalton's car. Off the grid, not on his lid, but off the grid. My wife gets the hooks of life to get him. Ooh, and a hard hit right there on the wood. Carson thinks that's hilarious. Glad that ain't my car. Nonetheless, gets his car put back on. These kind of things happen in a race. So we go back green racing. Round robin 4 of 8. We are halfway, folks. Weston there on yellow, holding them off. As we look down there below him, we got Jay Latham. He's probably going to make a few laps here as now Jay Latham takes the lead. We keep an eye on him on the black lane. As Jay Latham is now doing nothing but making laps here, folks. Passing Jackson on his outside, coming up on the inside here, purple lane, getting ready to pass Dalton. We'll see how Dalton fares whenever he comes through here. Jay's smacking her through there, not giving him the boot. So he makes a nice clean pass there as we see him passing Carson on the outside. Coming up next, he's passing Weston yet again, coming up on this yellow lane as he dive bombs down on Dead Man's Corner. Just goes to show you the big difference that it makes to be down on those lower lanes with less track to have to deal with. Weston's still in the mix here, but a huge loud scream for a track call there as Carson come off on blue lane. And not to mention Weston flying to the high banks there. Something going on there in the high banks, unknown to me. Do not know. Glenn spotted something. 4 red lights, going to drop out to green. Here we go. Jay Latham, your current leader, holding it down on black lane. Making several passes here. As we see Weston now moved up to 3rd position. 7 laps down from him. Marley there on red lane, and she's going to finish up her top lanes now. We're going to start seeing some changes take place here. Dalton down there on purple lane. Weston getting involved in an incident here. My wife trying her best to get stuff put back on. Don't know what's going on with these cars. Neither one of them have stickers on their cars. I was hoping by now that these rookies would know how to sticker their car for our track marshals. Good thing we're not running a live track here, folks. They would be very, very much in trouble. Let's push to the outside. Weston gives a boot to every single person on the track. Jay Latham actually riding nothing but pure debacles here in the rookie class tonight. Nobody knowing how to drive, it seems. Jay Latham getting put back on black lane. Wow. Dead Man's Corner definitely living up to its name. As we go back green racing, we see down low. Quickly on the button there, my wife going to put cars back on blue. That is Carson's car coming off. Everybody's medians right there pretty close together between a 207 and a 252, sorry. We got a stalled car there on purple. Dalton's car not moving. Possible braid issue. Too flat or something. Jay Latham taking a look at it. Could be a stalled motor from as many hits as it's took. Of course, it's the one car that took a concrete hit a while ago, flat and flush. The motors step loose on them. That's all it takes sometimes. Or it just could be that it was in a dead spot. So we'll see. 24 seconds left to go in this middle heat, 4 of 8. Jay Latham stepping out in front of the crowd here, 3 laps ahead of Weston. As we see Carson's car go to the outside there on blue, hard hit, dodging everybody in dead man's corner. Nonetheless, making it out safe. Down on black, though, Jay Latham still holding it down, like I said, 3 laps as we get a 0 rotation and a pause lap here. Heat's over, though. The button was not pressed quick enough. Jay Latham, your current leader, 55 average laps. Weston with 54 average. Jackson there, 49.5. We're going to start seeing him step it up a little bit here as he goes down towards the lower lanes. But if it's any indication of how much pressure Jay is putting on him, the green lane tells it all. 49 laps of Jackson to 52 of Jay Latham. Your top 3, Jay Latham, Weston, and Jackson. All right, we're back green racing. 1 minute and 57 seconds. We got a rider there on Jackson's lane. But anyways, he broke out a couple times there. It actually cost him a lap. My wife losing her mind as several cars keep coming off and wrecking. 1 minute and 47 seconds. What a long lifetime for people that don't like to lift. These kiddos definitely know how to race. Every one of them's had several races under their belt. But tonight, for some reason or another, it's like they just want to bank off each other. It just goes to show you the surprising nature of how people develop. Plus, not to mention, some of them have had ices, and some of them have had drinks of sugar and caffeine in nature. So it would not surprise me if they could see sound currently. But nonetheless, Jay Latham out in the lead, holding it together with 226 total laps. 6 turn this heat. Weston there in second place, 5 laps down with 221. Going back green racing. Here we go. What an event that we see here. Tom Payton showing me a angled pinion or angled spur gear with a couple teeth missing off of it. from the same wreck that caused his wheels to completely shatter in two and an axle pro track or pro slot, mind you, one of the hardened axles, completely bent. Very surprising, but at the same time, not so surprising when a car goes full speed into Dead Man's Corner on the orange track. It's bound to happen. So, luckily, his chassis is not in too much of a disarray. As we had another rider pop off purple, go on yellow lane, and green lane also come off. Jay Latham able to gain several laps here, but Dalton giving him a battle down there on black lane. Dalton, the more I see him race, the more I know he loves black lane, and he's definitely showing that here today as he is running a very fast black lane, fixing to pass our current leader right now on yellow as he does so in kind with that big body white car. Narrowly missing that wreck there, as if it was a hair of a second later in the crook of the track, Dalton would have sold up Marley's car that came off green. Jay Latham still able to hold it down. Weston turning 31 laps this heat. In competition here, Dalton and Jay both turning 38 laps. Dalton just a little bit ahead of him, probably about a half of a track length. This is the kind of stuff that late game you need to see for people to increase. Dalton actually pulling Jackson in, as we can see here, several laps difference between the two with 27 seconds left to go. Jackson needs to focus in. Jackson probably a little bit tired coming off of the LMP Thunder Series race, trying to get used to his car again. Maybe not the best idea to run multiple races, but one thing for sure is getting the understanding of each car is very important. As we see a dive bomb from Jay down low, taking both of them out. And yet again, both of them getting in contact again, taking out Dalton. Neither one of them lifting, as Jackson and Jay both full speed down, hammered down, coming off of Dead Man's Corner, causing this incident. See Weston there putting both of these cars back on, putting them both close again. Let's see if they both get hot in the trigger yet again as we go green racing. Up on the high side there, we see Weston and his truck on orange. And Jackson actually letting Jay go on by this time. Jay definitely being a front runner when it comes to the Rookie Rumble as of late, putting the show on for Weston and Jackson for sure. Heat 5 of 8 right now. We're going to go in and check some of those averages out as we've been talking about. 54.8 for Jay Latham, 53.2 for Weston, 49.6 for Jackson. Dalton 49, jumping up there big time. Marley 46.4 and Carson 45.2. Going to leave you guys here with a little bit of pinball action here from Abe Flips.
Welcome, my name is Abraham, and here I'm going to explain to you pinball skills in depth.
Pinball technique, and we'll be right back with you.
Aiming and shooting, the basics. General rule for aiming. Welcome to Abe Flips. Shielding. You can shield the center drain by raising and dropping the flippers, depending on the ball's position. If the ball is coming from an angle, you can reduce the center gap by holding up one flipper. Be aware that closing the gap on one side will open it on the other. That's why you should only raise the flippers when it's necessary and let them drop again afterwards. You can achieve the greatest flipper's reach when the flipper is at right angles to the angle of incidence of the ball. Consider the circular motion of the flippers in order to max out your reach, a skill which evolves with experience after seeing thousands of balls training. Flipper management. If the ball heads towards the flippers, there are many control techniques you can use, like dead bounces, dropping live catches, or nudge passes, explained in my other tutorials. But what do you do if the ball is coming in higher at the inlane area? Here are some examples of what can happen. To avoid the center drain, simply raise the flipper and wait for the ball to settle. Most of the time it will bounce off to the opposite flipper, where you can get back in ball control. If the ball is coming in even higher and triggering the slingshot, the increased ball speed makes it much harder to anticipate the ball. Raise the flipper and wait until the ball has crossed the center line. Now raise the second flipper while dropping the first again. It's important to wait for the ball to cross the center line so it might not open the door for unexpected or misread rebounding balls. Dead sling. Normally you would expect the slings to fire if the ball makes contact, but sometimes, especially on balls coming from a steeper angle, the switch might not be triggered, causing the ball to roll down the middle. Don't get caught off guard and raise the flipper. Lower sling post. Whenever you are going to shoot up the in-lane, raise your second flipper preemptively right after your shot. The possible rebound of the lower sling post can result in a drain and it's too fast to react on. It doesn't matter if you're doing alley passes or just want to park the ball in the in-lane as a safety response. Always raise the second flipper. Various examples. Here I didn't raise the second flipper and paid the price.
All right, here we go, folks. 4 red lights drop out to green. It's round robin, 6 of 8. Jay Latham, your leader, followed by Weston. Ooh, and a big speed come apart. That's Weston's car coming off there. Oh, there's 4 marshals out there right now. A couple rookie marshals, but nonetheless, the stickers are on there. I believe that's Neil out there marshaling. Appreciate that, Neil. And we got Josh out there marshaling also. Of course, we got Glenn, veteran marshal. So Glenn will take care of it while you make his snow cone. Yeah, I know. It fell out of my pocket a while ago. It's probably shattered. Minute and 34 seconds left to go. Jay Latham, still your leader, turning 13 laps. Jackson making 14 laps this time. Jackson trying to make his comeback here, his comeback song, as Jay moves to the upper portions here. Jackson's definitely going to have to keep his constitution about him if he wants to make a run like that against Jay Latham. Jay Latham, of course, been running very good here tonight and also ran really well in the LMP Thunder Series. Maybe got a few enemies there during the LMP Thunder Series. A little bit of love touches, unintentional, but quite hilarious nonetheless. Go back and check out our LMP Thunder race here tonight. Of course, there on the last heat, we ended up having a dev error and shut down the whole track, so we ended up having to get some stuff figured out there. But before that, some really, really tight racing, some really good racing. And not to toot my own horn, but I think some pretty good commentation, especially early on whenever the race was really, really tight. So definitely go back and check that out. And you can kind of see some of the rivalry starting to hear a little bit of a squeal from one of the cars there. It's probably not going to be too long before we see a stripped gear, just kind of hearing it. Might be a couple heats before we see it happen unless somebody tightens her up. 26 seconds left to go in this heat. Jackson, your current leader, turns laps here down on purple as he is trying his best to make as many laps as he possibly can. Stalled out car and a real big squeal of a gear there. Definitely don't want to be full throttle whenever getting your car put back on. These cars cannot take the torque of the stomp motor. Getting a couple cars off there. Green track, 3 seconds to go. And Marley gets her car put back on in a red flag condition. 6 of 8. Jackson with 58 laps turned. Probably increasing his average here. Jay Latham, his average, 54.5, our current leader. Weston there, 51.5, bringing up and stepping up his game. Jackson there, 51. Dalton, 49.5. Marley, 46.3. And Carson, 45.2. Going to leave you here with the current pinball scores. Been wild pinball day here at Lanes Raceway. Usually every Sunday quite much is. A lot of pinball going on during the races. You can probably hear it snapping and popping and dinging and everything else during the race. But check these out. We got one more day left to go, and that's it, folks. The tournament is over for July. We'll be starting our new tournament in August. Probably after we have our 1-year anniversary here, August the 5th. Planning on having a free play and free racing that day. Come on out. We might have a couple giveaways and stuff like that. But join us for our 1-year anniversary here at Lanes Raceway. You're going to have a good time. Don't forget, we got snow cones here and good entertainment if you're looking to have a private event. 1 minute and 38 seconds. We'll be right back with you. What a wild night we're having here at Lanes Raceway. Good racing, good friends, good family. Dead Man's Corner. Dead Man's Corner taking the lives of many slot car racers here so far tonight. And the trend has continued from Tom's race till now. Nothing but pure debacle and carnage. Early on today when the kids were practicing for the Little Rumble, Carson busted his out. And here we see it again, folks. Just wreck after wreck after wreck. But we've seen Carson bust his front bushings out of his car. He hit so hard in Dead Man's Corner. These kids do not care. They're on a mission of Mad Max in proportion to completely destroy each other's livelihoods here on slot car racing. Almost every lap is potential for a full-blown J, and it's also potential for the end of your slot car career here at Lanes Raceway. Don't know what's going on right now. Waiting for racers to get back to their respectful controllers. But nonetheless, hard hits and beating and banging. It's like a full field of Rowdy Burns out there. As we get a car coming completely off the track, 3 cars coming off, Neil coming in to help to stop the track. Just so much carnage. These kids are not letting off in Dead Man's Corner, thinking these are wing cars, I guess. I do not know, but nonetheless, Jackson in exceptional shape now. 11 laps. The next closest person to him is Jay, Dalton, and Carson with 7. He has gained 4 laps from the pure debacles that have ensued here in these big wrecks. Now, whether or not he's causing them, I haven't really focused in on him that much to see, but there's another wreck between Carson and Marley, I believe, as they go to get their cars put back on in the crook of the track. But the loudness and the excitement of these kids, you can hear it from in here. The ears are pierced. They're exciting. They have got themselves some fresh meals from both La Cabana next door, and some of them have even opted to go to the big sub of Hawaii. I say it like that because I don't know if I'm allowed to even say it online without getting in trouble anymore. But nonetheless, they got full bellies. They're excited. They're having fun. The wife running a green tractor, just not caring anymore. We see a nice stop there done by Jackson, and instead of fully yard selling Jay there. Very respectful. Maybe it'll be paid back in kind later on. Who knows? 1 minute and 9 seconds. Jackson making out like a bandit. 23 total laps. Next people in line closest to him, 18. There is a lot of wreckings going on here. He's not even turning very fast lap times here. We can see Jay Latham, that 1.4, I'm sure that was a rider to be able to turn such a small lap time there. I don't know why it's set on 1.4 seconds anyway. So Jay actually got an extra lap there because of my ignorance. But nonetheless, I need to get that fixed. It's supposed to be set at 1.6. But anyways, I digress here back into the moment that we're seeing here. Marley coming off on purple on the inside. Nice clean pass done by Jackson on black. We see Jackson rolling hard, trying his best. 8 laps difference between him and Jay there as he comes to claw his way to the top. 1 heat left to go, and he's about 12 laps down from Jay Latham. He's giving it everything he's got. 23 laps left to go. Will this get tighter? I don't know, but a 2.01 median is the best that I see out there. Followed by Marley with a 2.30. Marley really screaming there down on purple lane. If she didn't wreck as much as she has, it would definitely be a whole lot lower, probably somewhere closer to Jackson's. But somewhere running around a 2.0 with this gear ratio is very, very fast. And Jackson's going to make out like a bandit that heat, getting his distance between him and Jay within 10 laps. Is it possible that Jackson can come back and win this? Well, anything is possible, but I'll tell you right now, he's going to have to run an exceptional yellow line, and Jay is going to have to catch some trash on his way. Jay's going to have to catch at least 3 wrecks for Jackson to catch him, and Jackson catch none. Now, Jackson's going to have to keep his car online to be able to make that big of a stretch. If not, we're going to see Jay Latham on that podium tonight. Second place, of course, will probably be Jackson, since he's a good 14 laps ahead of Weston, and Weston's going to a higher lane. Dalton, of course, he's going to a higher lane also with 344, so he's going to be staying right there with Weston, but not going to be able to encroach on him. Now, Marley, for instance, here, she's got kind of a similar instance that Jackson and Jay's got. Marley has an opportunity here to make up that 19 or so laps that she needs to catch Dalton, but is that likely? Well, Dalton's going to have to wreck 3 or 4 times, and she's going to have to stay on. So the likelihood of these things taking place are pretty unlikely. But nonetheless, 1 minute and 44 seconds before we go back green racing. I'm going to leave you with the current standings and be right back with you. You can fix it later. Well, Tom's going to track, Marshall. Thank you, Tom. What a good man Tom is. And it's about to get loud. Ices are getting made here at Lanes Raceway. A lot of hot people. I'm one of them. I'm getting the Dirty Donnie made here at Lanes Raceway. For those that don't know what that is Bahama Mama mixed with lemon lime. What a tasty treat.
Well, I thought you said cotton candy, so your bottom is cotton candy.
So my wife messed up my order, and now I'm going to have to suffer cotton candy. Our main seller here at Lanes Raceway. A lot of people like cotton candy. I'm not a big fan. We do have Cloud 9 is what we call it, and it's cotton candy with Bahama Mama. And it's pretty decent, but not as good as the Dirty Donnie. The Dirty Donnie, not named after me. It's actually named after the guy that does pinball art for Stern. I thought it fit him pretty well. Some of his art's pretty gritty and very colorful, and I think it comes out pretty colorful myself with the green and the red hues. Kind of looks like a sunset sometimes. See Jay Latham getting the car of Jackson put back on there. 14 total laps turned for him. Like I said, 12 laps separating these guys. Going to be very, very hard to catch that. Minute and 27 seconds left to go. Jay Latham going to have to just hold it down up there and keep him off his tail. See Jay Latham there falling behind a little bit. Jackson running with everything he's got. Now everybody has got their minds in order here for this final heat, keeping their cars on. This is the stuff that doesn't give much room to be made. What is that? What is it? What is in it? Well, what's in it? You need to tell me what's in it. Cotton Candy Peach Bahama Mama. They call it a Tootie. Now, that is named after my wife. It does look good. Let's see if the camera likes it. The ocean and the sunset, she says. What do you guys think? I'll try it. Hey, I'll try anything. Try it right now. Try it on camera. All right, let's see. Pretty good.
You're pretty good.
I ain't pretty good. I'm pretty bad, really. I'm not really a good person. I will say that. on camera. There we go. Dalton D in White Lane was able to hold that thing on. 6 laps separates these guys, Jay and Jackson. Jackson giving it everything he's got. 30 seconds left to go. I say it wasn't possible, but maybe it is. As he gets closer and closer with Jay, it's going to be down to the wire here. 23 seconds left to go, and Jackson comes off. It is not going to be possible now, as he cannot afford to come off whatsoever. But still yet, 6 laps, getting their back within 2 heats. Pretty good run. Jay Latham, of course, running exceptionally here tonight. What a race he's had. It looks like Weston's going to break the 400 mark. Great racing here, folks. Going to get a picture of this made and get our guys out there. Let me go ahead and make an announcement. Jay, Jackson, and Weston, if you don't mind, please step in front of the podium as we get your picture made. Go out there and talk to them real quick and be right back with you. Jay Latham. Let's make 2 in a row on the Rookie Rumble.
Makes 2.
2 in a row. All right.
Tell Jackson just keep talking smack.
All right. Jay says, tell Jackson to keep talking smack. Jackson did get on a tear there towards the end and reeled you in by, I think, 6 laps.
Yeah, White held me up. I kept hitting trash.
Trash lane, I know. And that's what Jackson needed. He needed you to be wrecking about 3 or 4 times. And him not to wreck at all. Of course, there towards the end, we see Jackson. He did end up having a wreck, and we knew at that point that it was solidified. He was getting second place. But am I sensing a little bit of a rivalry between you and Jackson?
Yeah, he started it.
Jackson, is that true? Did you start this rivalry between you and Jay?
No, he did.
Oh, see, that's how rivalries start. See that face? Of a chuckle going on there. Jackson, what a great race you had towards the end, reeling Jay in within 6 laps. The heat before that, you gained so much. Actually gave you contention there as everybody was involved in wrecks, and you were able to actually capitalize above that and gain about 8 laps, I believe it was, 6 or 8 laps. What are you going to do different next week to drop this man off the throne?
Get people out of the way.
Get people out of the way. Those are Friday. What about Weston? When you hear out of the way to you?
He's going to attempt to wreck me, but he's not going to do it.
Well, Weston, you've had now back up on the podium. I know you've been there and wanting to be racing for. Oh, so it looked like you had to get involved in some wrecks again this week. Last week was a full-blown debacle. You broke 400. Congratulations on that. What are you going to do different next week to make the place he's at?
Probably buy a new engine.
New engines, always a good idea. We got them here at Lanes Race. Thank you, racers, for having a talk with me. Guys, this is Don and Curly here at Lanes Raceway. Thank you for stopping in, watching our Rookie Rumble race. Make sure to go back, like, subscribe, and share to all your friends and family to help these racers out the best that you can. Of course, they are racing for cars. They are racing for bragging rights. They are racing for big checks. But of course, all together the same. We do enjoy these guys and gals coming and racing. So please stick in here with us. Don't forget to watch the LNP Thunder Series and the Little Rumble from earlier today. Today is July the 30th. Stay tuned to our Facebook page for updates on our current standings. We'll get those updated either tonight or tomorrow, but just make sure you pay attention to Facebook. Other than that, God bless you. Thank you for watching. This is Don Curtley here at Lanes Raceway, and I'll see you Thursday.